It's time for the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Powerful and liberating business strategies you can start in 5 minutes or less. Now, here's your host, Dean Soto.
Hey, this is Dean Soto, founder of FreedomIn5Minutes.com and ProSulam.com. And we're here again with another Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast episode. Today's topic is this. Sometimes you forget just how hot it can be. That and more coming up. Wow, good morning. Well, God, actually, good morning. It's for me, it's evening, but I'm sure maybe it's morning for you, or afternoon, or maybe it's even evening. Oh, I have an interesting one for you today. So as of recording this, it is record hot temperatures in California, where I live, and interesting thing happened. Luna, no. I have a dog. I have turkeys, I have guineas, and I have Luna trying to dig up one of my dead chickens, which we're going to talk about right now. So I had no idea how hot it was going to get. It had been in the 90s for a while. Our chickens, they can find shade. Everything was going well, and so we have a lot of chickens. And we have a lot of guineas. I'm looking at them right now. Yeah, I'm like, how in the heck did I get all these birds? These are a lot of birds. Let's see if I can get the turkeys to gobble. Let's see. Oh, come on, guys. I want to hear it. Kind of heard it. And sometimes I can get them to gobble. Anyway, so I had no idea how hot it was going to get. And, you know, it was, like I said, it was the 90s, it was in the 90s, and the birds were able to find shade, and everything seemed to be just fine. There was really nothing crazy going on, nothing to where I had any concerns or anything like that. And then just the other day, I come out. So I come out in the morning, I give them their water, I give them their food, I make sure that they're all comfortable, and I let them free range. And I come out, and it had been in the hundreds, so it had been, I think, probably around 102, 103, and I just smell the smell of death, and I'm like, oh man, no. And so I start looking around, and I head towards the coop, and I see two of them had passed away. Two of them had died. One in the coop itself, which was shocking, right next to the water. So it was. I was like, what the heck? And then the one right outside the coop, and I'm thinking, okay, well that sucks. I need to get the misters on, and so I was going to go and hook up the misters and everything like that. I buried the two chickens. Then I start heading back. And if you've seen any of my videos before, I start heading back to the house. And there's these large manzanita trees that give a lot of shade and everything like that. And so I'm looking, and I see a couple of my chickens underneath the manzanita tree, and I see my favorite rooster laying there, not in the normal position. And I go and look, and that rooster is passed away as well. And I was just completely just like, holy crap, are you serious? Like, this sucks. Three, I can't. And so I'm thinking, you know, as a dad, as a father, as a husband, I'm thinking, and obviously the leader of my homestead, I'm thinking that I failed. Like, this sucks. And so yet again, I have to bury another chicken. This one being a big, huge Brahman rooster. And if you've ever seen them, they're big, right? And So I bury him and I'm just like, I go inside and everyone could tell that I was just absolutely sad and upset. And not my oldest daughter, but my second oldest, who's very emotional when it comes to the animals, very in tune with animals. I told her that they had died, and she starts bawling, and I start bawling. And I'm just like, it was just one of those days where I'm like, what the heck? How did this happen? Weeks and weeks and weeks of 90s and 90s and 90s and 90s, high 90s too, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. And I'm kicking myself because I'm thinking, I have these misters. I could have put them up really quickly and got them all, cooled off and everything like that. At least got the ground wet so they can cool their feet off and everything like that. And I didn't. I failed. I failed these things. And I know that they were animals, but they were under my protection. They were under my care, and I failed them. I did not give them what they needed, and so they died. And it was all because I forgot how hot it gets during August. I forgot how hot it gets up here during August. I mean, we're in the hills, but we're not, and so it's not as hot as the valley and down in the city, but it's hot and it's dry and there's not a lot of wind that comes up here. And so because I forgot how hot it gets, I allowed these birds to die under my care. And so I started putting up a whole bunch of different things to soak the ground where underneath the manzanita trees, so they can go and cool down and have a nice cool dirt underneath them, and put up misters so they're constantly getting cooled in the coop and everything like that. But overall, I was just like, I could not believe that I let that happen. So why is this important? It's important because, especially when you run a business, when things are going well, when things are going really, really, really well, we tend to forget how hot it gets, right? We tend to forget the struggle. We tend to forget that while we might have a lot of clients and these clients might be happy and the economy is going really well, things get hot eventually. Might not be this year, might not be this month, might not be in the next decade, but at some point in time, it's going to get hot. It's going to get crazy. And when it gets crazy, boy, it can get absolutely crazy, right? And us as entrepreneurs, hi, baby kitty, I can see the baby kitty over there. We have a wild cat that I think wants some awa, wants some water. But we forget how hot it can actually get. And it's during these good times that we set up these infrastructures, we set up systems, we set up processes, we're constantly doing lead generation, we're constantly putting out different ads, we're putting out, we set up ads that bring people to webinars and help to show them how to utilize our service or our product in a way that benefits them. And we just constantly do that, so that when the heat does come, we have the mist, we have some of the stuff that keeps us from, we're not totally in the heat. We have some things that can cool us off, some little oases that we can use, right? So what do you, where are you at right now? Especially with the COVID thing, where are you at right now? And be honest with yourself, where are you at? with, especially if I have friends who are flying high right now and some friends who are very, very, very low. The ones that are high they're the ones that need to be careful, because like Icarus, you fly high enough, the wax starts melting and you fall into the ocean. But where are you right now? What are some things that you can do to prepare for the heat that's going to come? Because it is coming. In my opinion, I think it's going to come in the next 2 or 3 months. Things are going to get very, very, very hot. And so I hope that doesn't happen, but it's just a gut feeling that I have. What are you doing right now to prepare for that? I just challenge you, if you don't have any systems, don't have any processes, you don't have any ads running, things like that, I challenge you to put those things up now. Get moving on that so that you can grow into, you can bring about a change and be able to pivot and shift when these things come. All right, this is Dean Soto, prosulum.com, prosulum.com, and Freedom in 5 Minutes. All right, I know that was a bit of a downer one, but it was down. It's just, I'm not going to hide it, right? But I will catch you in the next Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast episode.
Thanks for listening to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Now, head over to www.freedomin5minutes.com and register for our free masterclass and discover how to start systemizing and automating your entire business 5 minutes at a time. We'll see you next time on the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast.